Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome to today's Run Day Monday. I'm going to be sharing some not so great news about myself, and it's very personal, but it's not all bad, and I'm going to get into it in just a minute, and I'm really glad that you're here. So first off, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Run Day Monday, where we talk about all things running related, predominantly as we are all training for various races, and especially if you're training for a Run Disney event. I am wearing today my Wish Upon a Star shirt from Neverland Threads. I absolutely love this shirt. I needed a little bit of positive energy while I was filming this today, and so definitely love this shirt. I will put a code below and the link to the Neverland Threads website if you're interested. Just love it. Love Jenny and Frank. They're great people. So I'm gonna get straight into it today because what I'm gonna discuss is kind of serious in nature, but it's also could be perceived as negative, but I'm choosing not to view it that way. So some of you know that I have been having some issues with my right leg for pretty much about 5 years. And this will be the third time I've been to a doctor about it, and maybe the 10th time I've been to the chiropractor about it. And this last time I was at the chiropractor, he suggested that I go to an ortho, which those of you that see chiropractors know that if they are telling you to go to an orthopedic specialist, that they're not kidding around. You really need to go to the doctor immediately. So I went to my doctor, finally got an x-ray, and after being told that I had everything from IT band syndrome to a slew of other issues, I was finally diagnosed with osteoarthritis in my right knee. Now, the research about osteoarthritis has changed drastically over the years, and they have learned a lot more about it, specifically when it comes to runners. So before I say one more word, I'm going to give a huge disclaimer. Cue the disclaimer sound, please. Okay. I am not a medical professional, and I do not play one on YouTube. Nothing that I say here today should be used to form your own medical diagnosis. You need to go to your doctor. Don't ask me below, do you think it's this? Do you think it's that? I have no idea. So you really do need to go to your medical professional in order to get a diagnosis. Everything that I share here today is my own experience and nothing but. So feel free to watch and use it to inform your next step with your medical provider, but I am not a medical professional. We got it? I am not a medical professional. Okay, moving on. So it used to be that if you had arthritis, and I'm talking back when my grandmother was diagnosed with arthritis, they would encourage you not to move. You know, if it hurts, don't move. And this was the prevailing wisdom, at least what I would hear from my mother and grandmother for years. What we now know is actually being active is really good for you if you have arthritis, and it's really all about managing the pain and discomfort. So for me, this right knee will lock occasionally. I will sometimes have a lot of pain. It really comes and goes and depends on what types of activities that I've been doing. This recent bout of it really hurting, I was at my mom's in Arizona, and I was navigating a lot of hills. I was going for 3 and 4 mile walks in the hills where she lives up in the White Mountains. Absolutely beautiful. But hills can really exacerbate an arthritic knee. So we really think we figured out that that is what caused it. So although getting an actual diagnosis feels a little bit scary, it's actually kind of a relief for me because this right knee has bothered me off and on for so many years. And to finally have a doctor look at an x-ray and go, oh yeah, you have osteoarthritis in your right knee. And before you say to the camera, yep, she's got it because she's a runner. Yep, those runners always getting arthritis in their knees. I want to tell you that osteoarthritis is a hereditary condition, and it is all throughout my family. And people who are predominantly sedentary have had it. People who are very active have had it. My mom was very active her whole life. She has it. My grandmother, less so. she had it. So truly, although I might have been diagnosed slightly earlier, because a runner is much more likely to go to the doctor because of knee pain. Someone who isn't as active as I am might not have noticed it or might not have gone to the doctor about it. But clearly, I wanted to make sure I wasn't injured because my knee hurting is a big deal to me. So I do think it could be true that runners get diagnosed maybe a little bit early, but only because we're more in tune to our physical bodies. And when something hurts, we want to make sure we're not injured. So it has nothing to do with running. The doctor was very clear to say I would have developed this if I was a runner or if I were not a runner. He gave me very good advice. Basically, it's the same wisdom that we should all be following with running. If it hurts and it's changing your form, you should probably be done for the day. If it's a little bit of discomfort, but you can run through it without it changing your form. And when I say changing your form, so if you're not having to adjust any other way that you're running because of the pain, because what happens then is other things get out of alignment. And so you really want to make sure you can maintain good posture and good form. And, if it's a little bit of a twinge, that does not mean I need to stop running. He offered me anti-inflammatories. I chose not to do that at this point. I may do that at some point. But really, it was basically ice it when it hurts. If it hurts really bad, don't run. If it hurts a little bit, you're okay to run. And kind of made light of the fact. He's like, we'll just watch it. And in a few years, maybe we'll do a knee replacement. Maybe we won't. And having had many friends who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s who have had knee replacements and are still running, I'm really fortunate in that didn't scare me at all. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is a horrible diagnosis. I'm never going to be able to run. It was really more of, yeah, that is just what happens. So those of you watching this that are in your 20s and 30s, hopefully if you ever get a diagnosis like this, you won't be like clutching your pearls and freaking out because you have osteoarthritis. And those of you that are watching this that are runners in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, you're probably nodding your head at the camera going, yeah, that is part of what happens. There is this whole thing when you are an aging runner of things that just happen to your body. And you can choose, right? You can choose to let it stop you, or you can choose to keep going. And not only my physician, but also research I've done online. There was a great Runner's World article that I'm actually going to put in the show notes that was super helpful for me just about kind of how to manage it. And that running and being active and cross training and strength training and all these things that are important as a successful runner anyway, have now become even more important to me now that I have this diagnosis of osteoarthritis. And then the last thing that I plan to do because of this diagnosis is I do want to drop a few pounds. This is scandalous to be a woman in America, but I am super happy with my weight. I've never been super skinny, and that has never bothered me. I'm okay with that. I've been the same size for a really long time. However, I have put on about 5 or 6 pounds over the last couple of years, and I really do want to be committed to keeping that weight off. Not at all because the way that I look, but mostly because just a little bit of weight off can really take pressure off your knees, and that will enable me to run pain-free for longer and will also enable me to not have as many symptoms. So hopefully I'm not looking at a knee replacement in, 10 years or however long that might be. Was this a scary diagnosis? Yes. I did not love reading when they sent me the notes online, through the little patient portal. I did not love reading patient with, osteoarthritis in right knee. Don't love it. Is it going to change my running? A little bit. If for no other reason, then it's going to cause me to not take it for granted and to take things a little more seriously. That strength training has to happen. That cross training has to happen. The yoga has to happen. And all of those things will work together to ensure that I can run pain-free for as long as possible. I'll tell you that I went for a run yesterday after getting the diagnosis on Friday, and I had the best run, you guys. I did 4 miles. miles. My knee didn't bother me at all. It was a little bit sore after I got home. I stretched, I iced, and I just realized that this is not going to change how I feel about running. It's not going to change my determination about running, and it certainly isn't going to take away the joy from my running. So run on, everybody. We can keep running. No, running is not ruining our knees. Our bodies do tend to break down as we age, but actually running helps with all of that. And I'm super grateful that I can get out there and move my body. And I'm really grateful for you guys. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please give it a big thumbs up. I realize that this was a bit of a departure from my normal Run Day Monday videos, but it's real and it's something that's going on with me, and I wanted to be able to share it with all of you. So I will talk to you next time, and I hope you have a great day. Happy running. Bye-bye.